Hey everybody, Vinny SOB, and hope everyone's doing well out there and ready for the holidays. I haven't done one of these types of videos for a while, but I wanted to take a look at the newest British doctrine for Wikinger, the Combined Operations Command. What this is it focuses on some specialty units, some partisan troops, a bunch of commando style units, and then you have some air support. Now when you first start this doctrine off and you choose it, it's really bare bones. If you take a look here in your starting building, the field headquarters, you can build your AT boys. I have two of them on the field already. Your medic, your Vickers, and you can build these 1st Assault Brigade Royal Engineers. Now these guys are pretty cool. They have Lee Enfields, and I believe they start off with one Sten. I have a group of them somewhere here. Here they are, and they're actually hurt, so they're pretty unique as far as these sappers go, and specifically because you can upgrade them with 5 Stens, I believe it is. Right, so 5 Stens. You can make them really effective close quarters fighters with the 5 Stens, and they also go up to a level 4, as you can see, which is pretty impressive. So they can become some pretty badass troops when it's all said and done. They build pretty fast too, and you do start off with one standard engineer that you can put a flamethrower on. One thing, if you are into grabbing 2 engineers at once and having them build stuff, because in Wikinger, if you grab 2 like units, you can use any of their powers that they share or their abilities. You grab one of these guys with their standard engineer, and you can't do things together except for throw a grenade. So, but at any rate, so they're a pretty cool unit. And in fact, while we're talking about that unit, we can look at some of the things they can do here. The standard fare here, the repair, the time charge. When you start off, you can build the Bofors, the anti-air emplacement, which can be selected to go anti-air or standard, ground attack. Um, as you can see here, it's pretty expensive at 450 fuel. So off the bat, you're not going to be able to buy that. You do have your slit trench, which is free, and of course your regular bunkers, which you will need to. And in fact, your Borfos and your Borfos, whatever the hell it's called, and your bunker, you will need to upgrade your platoon command post to be able to do those. So let's see, what else do we have here? And you can see the COC forward HQ is locked. So normally with your engineers, you are able to build, where are they at? Um, see how these guys can't even build that field HQ, these initial set you start with. But normally with engineers, with Brits, you can build a forward base. Well, you cannot do that unless you actually unlock it here, similar to the airborne unlocks that you have. So that is something that has to be unlocked on the tech tree, and that is right here, the number 4 command depot. And you can see it costs 3 points. So early on, if you're looking to drop that $350, normal little starting base for popping out troops and doing things, you're not going to be able to do that with this doctrine right off the bat. You have to unlock that, which is 3 points. So you're not going to be unlocking it anytime soon in a match. And then if you look at the rest of the things they can do, your standard munitions, fuel, your different types of mines, tank traps, sandbags, and barbed wire. So pretty standard overall. Now, as you can see, what else? You also get your universal carrier is in this first building, and I believe you do have to unlock the platoon command post before you can actually build those. Of course, those are a vision piece. They do not cloak for this doctrine. See, there's one right there. They do see pretty damn far with their binoculars, but they do not cloak. They will fight if you put a Vickers on them, and if they're in combat, their binoculars go off. So because they're in combat. Another thing you'll see here is this number 10 French AT squad. You'll be able to build one of these, but you have to unlock that command depot first. So you can see they're pretty bare bones until you get that, till you get some unlocks done and get your some things off the command tree. In your platoon command post, now I do have the unlock already done for the level 2. This is all you can build. You can get anti-tank gun, a vehicle crew, and an ambulance. So all the rest of your stuff is locked until you get that 3-point this thing here, this number 4 command depot, which again is 3 points. So it's really bare bones. You can't even build your captain to try to make things build fast or anything of that nature. And in fact, this captain doesn't have that ability, so we'll look at him in a bit. And here in your tank depot, you can see they don't have very many tanks, and 2 of them require, number 1, you have to unlock them on the tech tree, all of these, but you also have to have the heavy command post, heavy ordnance depot unlocked as well. So, alright, so let's take a look at what we have here. Normally when you're starting off, because you know points don't come that quickly, you can always, you know, once you get up to 2, you can start this armor track here, which is the Centaur Mark IV 95 howitzer. And this, I don't believe, you will not need the heavy, you will not need the, damn it, this right there. Okay, you will not need to have the heavy tank depot unlocked to be able to build that. But again, that's not something you're going to be building early game, so it's probably not, you know, one of the tracks you're going to start with, because you have to have everything on, you know, all those buildings unlocked to be able to even get to it. So you're probably going to start with 1 or 2 points. Is either going to be the Jedburgh team, these guys that establish a safe house, or you're going to be going with the SAS Advanced Party Paratroopers. Both of these are really cool units. We'll start off with, and I, you know, I've started with both of these before, but let's say you wait and you get your 2 points and you get these advanced party guys, right? So they pop up here, and you take them and you drop them on the map. They are an air unit, airborne unit. So you'll drop them in. It's pretty cool. You'll get some smoke first, and then that big ass like transport plane comes across. They are a group of 4 guys. They can get up to level 4, so you know, they can get tough, but they're only 4 guys with Stens, or maybe they have Thompsons. Let me take a look. Yeah, they have Stens. So you know, 4 guys with Stens, they're okay, but they're not really something you want to be fighting with. They do have the evasive action. You can creep them around into enemy territory. But what they're really used for, and I'll just see they cloak too. So you know, once you put them in cover, then don't move them, they'll cloak. But what they're really used for is this radio. So you turn this SAS commander radio thing on, and after a few seconds here, you're going to see that you're going to get a pop-up. There it is. Now once this is on, these guys, you know, they're not going to fight. They're going to sit there and just be in cover. And that's what you want them for. You're going to be able to call in the Recon plane. Now on a map this size, the Recon plane is going to see every ounce of the every inch of the map, right? So the Recon plane is going to come out and it'll circle this commander, but it circles pretty wide, and it does take a bit. So you're seeing here this Recon plane on the mini map, and it's going to show you everything. Now the cool thing with this is, you see it says 120 something seconds. It's like 150 seconds, and you can call it in again, and it's completely free. So with this doctrine, you're going to have a lot of vision. They're going to try to shoot him down. You're going to have a lot of vision because it's free, and it just keeps coming back. So it's pretty cool. Now, to really make these guys effective, though, you're going to either want to, and these are both 3 apiece, so these are pretty high points. You're, you can get this rocket attack, and you can get the, this is the rocket attack down here, and you can get the, up here, the bombing run. And then you can also get, which is another 3, the paratrooper unlock, the SAS special units. So that track right there for these SAS advanced party, this is a pretty badass piece, because now, as you can see, you can call in these airstrikes. They are expensive at $250 a pop, but there is an upgrade we'll see on the tree that you can also get later that lets you drop munitions. So as far as these Typhoon bombing runs go, I mean, you can see how big of an area these, look how that far that circle goes out. Look on the mini-map. They have a really wide radius to be able to drop this, and unlike airborne doctrines, other airbornes, you can actually use this in the base. So I'll just call it in. And there he goes, these radio and coordinates and all that good stuff. And you can see I can automatically go and call in the next one if I have the money for it. So you can call 2 of these in at a time. I don't know that I want to, because I might tear the base up, but yeah, I'll bring it in, what the hell. And this first one's sort of like this bombing run is similar to the air superiority that you get with the airborne. They have, oh, they have an anti-air gun back there, but at any rate, oh, the other one is coming, so he's radioing that one in too, because you can radio them both in at the same time. Now there's really nothing here for them to bomb, but if there were tanks here and stuff, they would be rocket strafing them and dropping big bombs on them. They are meant to attack units. You see, they really don't go after the base. The only thing they might go after is a bunker. But believe me, if you've got a bunch of units out there, they're going to be rocket strafing tanks. They're going to be dropping big ass bombs too. So it's super deadly. It's really your best defense against tanks, since you really can't make much armor. But these planes, and they linger for a while, and they'll hunt tanks down. So they can be really annoying, you know, if you're someone using tanks against this. However, that being said, in order to do that, I would have had to invest 11 points. So normally you're only going to have 1 of these, and they are expensive, as you can see. So you're not going to be able to do that off the bat. So I mean, you're usually going to only have 1 of those abilities if you go that route, you know, early on. Now, if you want to take a look here, you can see their other abilities involve dropping SAS paratrooper guys. I'm going to drop them in the base just so I can upgrade them. So again, you'll get the smoke, and you have pretty far range of where you can drop these guys too, like I said. So smoke will come through, and you can see I can already drop the other ones if I can afford it. But again, these are a lot of points, so you're not going to have all these unlocks early on. I am playing the beta version, but it's, as far as I know, it's identical to the full release, but it's only so I could jack up the resources and make it quicker. And I've already been messing around for an hour just to get to this point. You can see I've got tank traps everywhere. I didn't want to be getting hit by Tiger tanks and all kinds of other crap. So here these guys are. You've seen these guys before, the Thompsons, and you know, these are badass. These are badasses, and you can throw a bazooka on them and give them their health pack. They do have an anti-personnel gammon bomb, so I mean, they can do some serious damage. They do not have the evasive action, which I'm surprised about, and they do have smoke grenade. They do, of course, cloak when they're, you know, in cover, though. So let's move them up. Now, let's look at, and the other thing is, you can, this unit, I wish they had it like kind of in the special unit thing. because you're going to be clicking on it a lot. And again, your Recon's back. You can use that. And you can see how fast these planes are already cooling down. But let's look at this other Special Forces air support. And I think I can't drop them that far back. Alright, there's the line. I don't want to drop them to their death, but anyway, these guys come down inside Jeeps. It is super cool. Where are sappers getting hit? And why are they up there? Alright, so there's the smoke. And you're going to see these two Jeeps dropping. Super cool. And in here you have two groups of guys. And you can have the Jeeps disappear if you want. You can hit the, exit, the disembark and withdraw, and the Jeeps will go off the map for you. Or you can just run them around like this and have them fight. And I'm going to tell you, these guys are just super deadly against troops. I mean, they just cut them down. But let me just hit the withdraw button. So there you go. Now these guys, you see, they have two Vickers K light machine guns in their group, and there's only 4 guys, but these two guys together equal 8. So it's 4 Vickers. They could do some serious damage. So yeah, they're really a cool troop. You can see they're aggressive, boy. They're really going at. They're running up there trying to take these guys out. So there you go. Now, I don't want to make this take too long. So, okay, the next track you're probably going to start with, that you could start with, would be this Jedburgh team, this 2-man paradrop. These guys, they're 105 to drop, so they're nothing expensive. I hope I have something. Yeah, I do. So when you drop these guys in, they're pretty interesting. Same thing, you're going to get your smoke. These guys are just so aggressive. So there they go. These two guys drop down. These are the French resistance. Like, one guy's got a pistol, one guy's got a Sten.
Emplacement under attack.
They are not meant for fighting. They can go evasive action, which is useful later because they really aren't a good fighting piece, but they can be used for vision. Look at these commandos, man. I had them way down here. They want to fight so bad. Anyway, so you take these guys, and you'll see they have this little thing called Partisan Headquarters. You run them into a place, and then the map has to have houses on it. And then you can upgrade this, and I believe you have to have your platoon command post number 2 done to be able to use this ability. And it's 350, which is expensive early game, but it turns this thing into a partisan headquarters. Now you can retreat to it, and off the bat you can make these marquee bands here, these French resistance fighters. And then you can make the Saboteurs. So I'll just make one of each. They're pretty cheap, 180 and 160, so they're pretty cheap. All right, get out of here, you lunatics. But anyway, so here we go. I forgot to set my marker. So here's the Saboteurs, and if you look, they could lay mines, which is cool. They have evasive action, they can throw a satchel, and they have Molotovs. So I think they only have Lee Enfields though, right? Yeah. But they're really cool because you can sneak them up, like right up on stuff and throw a satchel on it and all that, which is pretty cool. And so they're a pretty cool piece. Then you have the just the French resistance guys. Now these guys have the infantry ambush attack, which is pretty cool. They and one of them has a shotgun. I don't know. Yeah, one of them actually has a shotgun. So yeah, they're pretty cool. They're a pretty neat fighting force. These guys are running up too. Man, are they aggressive. Yeah, he's dead.
The enemy have wiped out an infantry section.
Anyway, so yeah, these guys are pretty cool. They can creep around, and they could do some damage. Now, if you look, there's a bunch of other stuff here, but you have to unlock all this stuff. So again, early on, this doctrine, it takes a while to get going. It really does. And I find it, you know, it seems kind of weak in the beginning. I'm almost to the point now where I'm waiting up to 3 points and waiting for this number 4 command depot, because you have very little ability to deal with flame tanks or flamethrowers, period. But at any rate, so if you're going this route, you can see here it goes in this little U shape. The next thing is the Airdrop Munitions, which, as I said, comes in really handy when you're using this SAS Advanced Squad, because you're going to be using these planes a lot. This munitions drop is pretty important, and you can see it takes 200. Man, these guys are so aggressive. It takes 200 fuel to do it too, so it's not cheap. Come on, get back, idiot. So you can go and you can go grab the munitions, which I don't need, but comes in very handy when you're using these planes a lot with these other guys. All right, so what's next here? The next unlock that you would have in this track, and again, this is pretty inexpensive overall. I mean, that's only 3, it'd be 4 total points to get to this thing. This unlocks the Radial Intercept, the dummies, and I think it also unlocks, we're going to see here, yeah, the weapons drop. So now what this is going to do is you're going to get Radial Intercept. So it's pretty cool because it's just that ability that whenever they build something, a piece, it's going to say over here on the side what they built. That coupled with all this vision you get from, you know, this, you know, constant with this guy, you constantly see. Again, it can be really effective. It just takes a while to get going. But also now what you've seen, you get weapons drop, which is nice. And I think the weapons drop can be dropped anywhere on the map, if I remember correctly. Boy, it's taking its time. Drop the stuff. There we go. So the 2 planes go over, and they're going to drop, I believe, a Piat and a Vickers machine gun. Yeah, so there's the Piat. Now you can arm obvious, and there's the Bren, not the Vickers. So it's pretty cool because now these guys have a shotgun, a Piat, a Bren, you know, and you know, Lee Enfield. So they're pretty deadly. And you could do it with this little 4-man group. You could even drop it for this 2-man group and give them a, you know, machine gun if you want, or you could, you know, have any of your guys run up and grab it. So it's a super effective little airdrop. Now there's a second airdrop, but it's also tied to the same timer as the first airdrop, so we'll get back to it. The next thing in this track, and this is a 3.1, is you unlock access to captured vehicles from the French interior. So, oh, I meant to click it. Now you'll see that you can build their anti-air half-track, and you just call it in. Just call it in right there. You can call in a captured Panzer IV, which is cool, and you can call in a captured Tiger. Now, you need the hammer tactics upgrade, you know, the heavy ordnance depot, whatever it's called, upgrade to be able to do that. So again, now this is not something, by this time you've invested quite a few points, but you still need the hammer, you know, the hammer tactics. So I mean, this isn't something you're probably going to race to. But the thing is, like I said with this Borfus, you for anti-air, you're pretty lacking with this faction, and just like you are with the Brits in general, because normally you have to get all the way to their company command post to be able to unlock their Centaur anti-air. So, you know, it's kind of a similar thing. But if you want to take a look, these are captured. You can see they have French resistance fighters on there. This one, I mean, it's really cool, the skins. Little symbols on it. So, yeah, French resistance stuff. Very cool. So, we don't need this, though. I'm going to run it up here and let it get killed. Hopefully it does get killed. It might not. And then when you get the Panzer IV, it comes with the smoke and the HE on it already, so that's pretty cool.
Off we go. How's the oil pressure?
They might not build anything else. I've had them in there so long.
Engine warmed up. Time to go. Hits from machine gunners.
That machine gun might not hurt this. I don't know.
Orders. Watch out! They're hitting our side.
Okay, good. It's gonna kill it. Now, Panzer IV won't go down so easy. Alright, any rate, so we know we need this unlock. Now, before I do that heavy upgrade unlock, we've already kind of talked about we're going to go into this number 4 Commando thing, which is 3 points. Alright, so now that I've clicked it, the unlock, I can go to my platoon command post, and I can start unlocking some of these pieces. I have a number 4 Commando troop. We'll get them. I can now unlock a mortar team, which I didn't have access to before. We've all seen a mortar team. There's nothing special about it. It's a 3-inch mortar. We can get this headquarters troop, or the captain. And now you are able to, if I can find here they are. You are able to now build the forward HQ. So I'll just drop it here. Alright. So here's this number 4 Commando troop. Alright. These guys are pretty cool. You see here, they're all volunteers, blah blah blah.
There's an officer awaiting orders.
You can see they start off with Lee Enfields, and that's it. Alright, so off the bat, they're good at, you know, medium to long range. They're actually pretty good. I mean, they do wipe out other units at long range. But, you know, they're nothing extremely amazing at this point, and they're 360. So what you have here, as you can see, you can always put your med kits on them, but you have the ability to make them an assault pack, or you can make them an anti-tank troop, right? So if you click the anti-tank troop, you're automatically going to be able to get the 2 Piats, okay? Because they'll get the British weapons. Now if you look here, the next unlock, one of the next unlocks is unlock American weapons. So let's do that. And now if you look, I can go with 2 bazookas instead of the 2 Piats. So you have a choice, right? So let's just go with the bazookas. Now these guys are, that's it. That's what they have. They're a bazooka team basically with some Lee Enfields. So they're pretty tough. Now this captain, you look, he doesn't have that speed up the build ability. He can send troops away, he can withdraw them. There is a power that has to be unlocked. Let's just upgrade his stuff, and he has the officer charge, you know, the normal stuff. So we'll move him up here, and let's take a look. Now I did build this forward base. Now from the forward base I can build anti-tank guns. I can build number 4 commandos. I can build the Commando heavy machine gun, which I don't know that it's any different than the standard machine gun team that you can build. And of course your mortar crew. But we'll build another one of these number 4 commando troops. And I'm going to use this guy. And I'm going to withdraw these other guys here. I'm going to withdraw these guys. I don't need them anymore. Right. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Here we go. Now you can see there's an assault pack instead. Now we saw we could go with the Piats or the bazookas. Here we have the assault pack. So you can start off. You can go with either the British assault pack, which is 4 Stens and a Vickers, or because we unlocked the American thing, you can go with 4 Thompsons and a bar. Okay, now you'll also see here capture German weapons. So you click on that. Now you see this pops up as well. You could also choose, instead of the American or the British, you can go with, let's get this off of here. You can now go with 3 MP40s, 1 STG-44, and an LMG of the 42. So MG42, which is pretty deadly. So as you can see, these commando guys can be really pretty kick-ass. And I don't know how many, there's no number, I don't know if there's a number of them you can build, but these really make up the bulk of your troops. These and your really kick-ass engineers that you get. And you can see these guys, of course, go into like cloaking mode. And then again, like I said, you have these badass assault engineers, but they have no anti-tank ability unless you do this paradrop to give them weapons. Alright, so now let's look at this paradrop, the decoys. So yeah, whatever it said, say they can't see, you want to paradrop some decoys. I'm just going to drop them into their base, because all it is just some dummies. But let's see here. God, it's taking a while. There we go. So this is nice if you want them to think you have guys hiding somewhere, but I don't know what other thing it does other than that. Just, you know, be a nuisance thing, really, because they don't really seem to do anything. Just drop some dummies down. And then they're not even there. So again, I think that's just to like pester people, to make them think you're dropping troops behind their lines. So I never really use it. I'm not, maybe I'm just not using it correctly. Anyway, or I just haven't found enough of a use for it at this point. So the next thing you could do, you could see there is that ability, the bash on regardless. Let's unlock that, and now all your commando troops will get this. No, not all of your commando troops. Your these commandos that come out of here, so like these number 4s and the rest. You see they have bash on regardless. It's basically they just I don't think they get suppressed or something like that, or can get pinned, or they can break being suppressed or something like that. But you know, they all get it here. All these clowns that come out of there, these guys don't. But all right, so what else is left? You notice we still can't build our sniper, still can't build these number 1 commandos, and I think that's it. And that's this one. So these are the non-British guys. So here we go. We have the, I think it's like the Swedish sniper. Let's see. Norwegian Sniper. So we've all seen a sniper before, but this is how long it takes to get to your sniper. You can build the French AT squad now. These guys are actually pretty badass, but you only get to build 1 of them. But they are deadly. I don't know if they have, how many ATs they have, like bazookas. I think they might have 3 or 4 or something. They're pretty deadly. They're like a bazooka team, whatever. They maybe it's only 2, but they're just badasses. And then you get your Dutch Recon squad that has the, and I'll build one of these because they have the crazy monocular thing. And while I'm doing that, let's
Message received and understood.
upgrade
Your
that.
commandos are ready.
So these guys come out. You can see you can hold fire with them. You can hold position so they don't look in any other direction than you want them to. They have binoculars like you've seen with many of the other doctrines. And they have this tabby IR binocular. So, which is pretty cool because what it does is it works like the searchlight for the Oberkommando, basically. So you get them where you want them to go, and then you could turn on their monocular thing, and you'll start seeing on the mini-map that green strobe. I don't know how long it takes to actually set in. Let me do hold fire, and it might be part of the reason. Come on, let's go. Do hold position, see if they... Well, anyway, that'll come on at some point here. You'll see it on the mini-map. And again, some of these guys that you couldn't build before, you can build from here, like the, you know, all these guys actually, you could build from this area. Damn, where's the monocular? It's not working. Maybe it's because it's in the beta, and I'm not playing the full release. But at any rate, it works the same way as the Oberkommando does with their searchlight thing. So lastly, on the tech tree, so yeah, so it'll show up on the mini-map. You'll see the little green thing swaying back and forth.
The enemy's in trouble. Our hammer tactics are ready.
Okay. So lastly, you have your armor track, and you have the howitzer, which is, you know, just like like your M105 Sherman, basically the same type of thing. You have your AVRE, which is bunker buster, and then you have the crocodile. And that's everything off the tech tree. So if you look here, just build one of each. What the hell? I'm really curious as to why this monocular's not coming out. Is it because they're under fire? Like, yeah, I know it seems weird that I'm like obsessing over this monocular thing, but it's just, I don't understand why it's not working. Maybe because there's no dark? Nah, it wouldn't matter. Alright, so while those things are building, it'll be a minute. Just send some of these troops away. I think I might... No, I think I might run out of command points if I don't. I can withdraw some of these tank guns too, huh? Nope. Yeah, so these guys don't have any... they don't have any... Their anti-tank is... They're completely relegated to using 6-pounders. So again, you're going to really have to rely on these commandos and stuff. So here's the M95. You can give it the or the Mark IV 95mm. You can give them a tank commander, increased visibility. There's the monocular. See it working on the mini-map? I wonder if it'll show it sweeping. There you go. See the green thing sweeping back and forth? So yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, this thing, you could do it just like a, you know, it's a 95mm barrage. It's got, you know, pretty good distance, just like most of these, you know, fire and forget weapons. And what really makes this a very handy tank is, one, it's great against infantry. So if you can keep it supported by infantry, you can just really tear up you know, their defenses. It'll take down, you know, just shooting regular. It's got the heat, which is decent, but it'll really take these bunkers out pretty quick if you can, you know, get up to that. I tend to like it as a howitzer, and mainly because you have this guy with the unlimited visibility thing here with the Recon, so you could just use it over and over again with the Recon, and as long as the Recon stays on the thing and you're in good range, it'll fire. But I have noticed if you're way out of range with this thing and the Recon's going and it swoops by and you click on something, it won't move up and then go fire there once it goes dark. You have to make sure you're within pretty good range of where you want to fire, or it won't fire it. You know, see how it's going dark here? See, I picked here. It wouldn't have moved up and fired. It won't remember. So anyway, what else we have? Ii Churchill. I mean, you've seen this thing before. It's pretty deadly. I mean, it even really hurts Tigers and stuff because this thing has super great frontal armor. It could take a beating. But it takes forever to fire this thing. So, you know, don't expect it, you know, I really don't even really build it much because it's kind of a one-purpose thing. I mean, it has a huge explosion, and it does stun tank crews if it hits them. So I mean, it's kick-ass, but definitely not something you're gonna have early, you know, even mid-game really. And the Spigot's got a pretty short range overall. I mean, you can see I'm within eye shot of them. See how close it's got to get to fire the Spigot. But it's deadly, just like the Broom Bear or whatever. And it takes a beating, so you could sit here and they can hit it in the front. It's really not going to hurt it. And then you have your Crocodile, which we've all seen a Crocodile, and it's you know, really an awesome tank. Crocodile's great. You can smoke them out pretty easy with the damn Crocodile. But that's how this doctrine works. It's a really unique, neat doctrine, kind of, you know, like Iron Will's very different than the other Commando doctrines. This thing's pretty different too. It's you know, you might have to do a lot of clicking and micromanaging. Again, this is why I hope they move this SAS Advanced Party, even though it is a troop. I would like to have it have either a different icon than the other 4-man SAS stuff, or I would like it to be down in these like special unit things, just so I can get to it quickly. Oh, and this is a Crocodile. It's a 1-star Crocodile too, so I mean it's already a, you know, an ace or whatever. He's ready. Spigot. Yeah. If you're coming in with this shit, they better have air support, because otherwise they're dead. And again, during all this, you can be using your air support. You know what I mean? So this can be a super deadly doctrine if you get it going. Oh, and now I can even build. I guess I'll show this to you before I. No, back up. Get out of there, Crocodile. Oh god, it's close. Might as well show you the Tiger because it's a quick call in anyway. So, just call it in. So you don't have to build it, you just click it and it comes in. It's pretty cool, it's got the French flag on it. It's got a resistance fighter in it. Yeah, it's got the little partisan symbol thing. So yeah, you know, it's a really cool doctrine. A lot of this stuff, though, it takes a very long time to get some of this stuff out, which is expected. You don't want to be super powerful off the bat. But it really, if you don't have these commandos out, you're going to be in some trouble. So, because you're either going to be picking one plane that you're going to try to fight with, you know, one of these two to try to hold off tanks, or because otherwise you're just trying to run field guns around the place, and it's just it's hard because you don't have any other way to support you know, against early tanks. So there you have it. That's the Doctrine. Let's go ahead and burn these guys out real quick. Just hit these guys with the petard way in the back. I'm trying to think if I missed anything. I think I did. Yeah, fire the spigot. You better run from the spigot. There you go. Yeah, pretty deadly. Well, anyway, thanks for watching. Really, the only thing I haven't figured out a use for is the dummies, except for just like a to hassle somebody. And I'm really a comp stomper anyway, so the computer doesn't seem to care if I drop them. But yeah, but thanks for watching. You know, if you have any comments, leave them in there. Sorry this got a little long. But yeah, it's definitely a cool doctrine. I'd check it out. It is in the full release that's out right now. Again, I just use this so I can get my resources out real quick. And if anyone knows more about the dummies, yeah, how they work, you know, other than what I think they do, then please let me know. And I keep watching for people, you know, videos of people playing, so I can get some different, you know, techniques to start with these guys. Because it can be a rough go if you only have like your SAS advanced squad out, or these partisans, because there's not a whole lot you can do with them early on. So, but all right, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.